to Study Time, a televised home learning program produced by Rwanda Education Board.
Hello, students of Senior 2 Biology class. You are most welcome for today's lesson. As we ended the previous lesson, you remember we were looking at Unit 1. We were looking at Unit 1. We had went ahead and looked at the class, the kingdom Arthropoda. We had finished the phylum Chordata. We went to phylum Arthropoda. And we said, if we are to remind ourselves on what we had covered, we had looked at phylum Arthropoda possessing how many classes? We said phylum Arthropoda possesses how many classes? Who can remind us of the classes that are composed within the phylum Arthropoda? Yes? Yeah, there are 5. There are 5. We looked at class Insecta. We looked at the arachnida. We looked at Crestia. We looked at Diplopoda and Chilopoda. All right? And we had said that we are going to look at one by one. We look at one by one. We started looking at, to remind ourselves, we started looking at the class Insecta. All right? And we look at the many features that a class Insecta possesses. We looked at its adaptations. We looked at the harmfulness and the usefulness of class Insecta. So for today, we are moving to another class under phylum Arthropoda. We said that when we were closing the previous lesson, I'd left you with a small work to do. I told you to go and read about class Arachnida. Hope everybody now is having a hint or having knowledge on class Arachnida, of which we are going to start with today. All right? Who can tell us some of the features that we find in class Arachnida? Because our today's objective, as you look on the screen there, today's objective, we are going to look at some of the features, the common features the class Arachnida possesses. All right? We are going also to look at the adaptations of this class Arachnida to fit in the areas of which it lives. All right? So who can tell us some of the features that you discovered when you were doing your reading, as I had left it before, the research? Who tried to read? Who tried to read on the class Arachnida and tell us some of the features that you came out with? Anybody there? All right. So let's look at this picture there. Hope you found some of the features that we are seeing on the. Go and look at go on the screen. Look at those two pictures. Look at those two pictures. What features do you see that these pictures possess? All right? Who can tell us some of the features that those two pictures possess? Have them here. The first one is here. The first one is here. Look here on this I'm holding here. Everybody be attentive on this. If you compare it with the one on the screen there, they are the same thing. The one I'm holding here is the same as the one on the screen, the first one, the first picture. The first picture on the screen is the same as the one I'm holding here. So if you look at this, what features does it have? Who can try to analyze some of the external features? When we talk of the features, normally here, we put emphasis on the external features, all right? We don't go inside in the body. No. We just look at the external features that can be visible to everybody. All right? Yeah. This one has got, thank you, it has got 8 legs. Let's count together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. Don't call this one a leg. No, no, no. It's not a leg. We shall see what it is. All right? This is not a leg. Don't count it among the legs. We are counting again. 1, the first leg. All right? The second one, the third, the fourth, the fifth, the sixth, the seventh, and eighth. So it has 8 legs, all right? So having 8 legs does not put it into class insecta. We said class insecta last time has got how many legs? How many legs does class insecta have? Let's pick an insect. Let's pick an insect and see how many legs it has compared to the one we are holding here. All right? This is an insect. Look at this. I don't know whether you see it clearly. This is an insect. If we look at this very carefully and you count the number of legs and you try to compare them with the ones we're having here, it has 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. It has 3 pairs of legs, making a total of 6 legs. All right? So an insect has got 6 legs. That is a 3 pairs of legs. But when we look at this, I've put down before, this one has got 4 pairs of legs. I said these are not legs. We shall see what they are. So these are 4 pairs of legs, making a total of 8 legs. Therefore, this is an arachnid, and this is an insect. So to differentiate an arachnid from an insect, you can base on the number of legs, because we said before that when we are classifying animals or when we are classifying these classes, we can base on the number of legs. So basing on the number of legs, this one has got 4 pairs of legs, a total of 8 legs, and this has got, the insect has got 3 pairs of legs, making a total of 6 legs, all right? So that is a big difference, basing on the number of legs that you can base on to differentiate arachnid from an insect. Clear to everybody? All right. So arachnid has got 4 pairs of legs, making a total of 8 legs, while an insect has got only 3 pairs of legs, making a total of how many legs? 6 legs. All right? So the same applies to the other picture we have there. When you go to the other picture on your right, on the screen, when you go on the screen and you look at the second picture I have also, rise in a class arachnid. It is this one I'm having, the scorpion. This is a scorpion. A scorpion also rises under a class arachnid. All right? We said basing on the number of legs, all animals in our class arachnid possesses how many legs? How many legs? 4 pairs of legs, making a total of 8 legs. Clear to everybody? Hope you've picked that. So when we count this was a spider. The spider also had 4 pairs of legs. This is a scorpion. They all lie under class arachnid. All right? So let us count the number of legs of the scorpion. We had already counted the one of the spider, all right? We found out there are 8. So we hope, or we have also to find that those of scorpion to be 8, all right? So let us count together. We count together the number of legs. We have 1. We have 1 here. Have 2, 3, and 4. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. The other side 4. Making a pair of 4, those are 8 legs, as the same as those of the what? Are the same as those of the spider. Therefore, in belief, if you look at other members of the class arachnid as well, they also possess 8 legs, a pair of 4 legs. You look at the termites, they also possess the same number of legs. So basing on the number of legs, all arachnid possess 4 pairs of legs. That is a total of 8 legs. So the two I'm holding, the one I'm holding as well as those ones on the screen, they're the same. This is the scorpion, this is the spider. they lie under class arachnida, all right, basing on the number of legs. Thank you very much. So, when we continue with the class arachnida, arachnida are also many in the world. As we said, though insects are abundant compared to arachnida, but also arachnida are very many. But the majority we normally see, there are the butterflies there. All right? They are the spider. The spider are the majority. The scorpions are few, but the majority are butterfly the spider among the class arachnida. All right? So when you look at the screen there, that is the spider. That is the scorpion. We have also the termites. There are many under the class arachnida. Examples are many, but I took a few to show you the many characteristics that the class arachnida possesses. All right? Another thing we can talk of that the spider possesses, or in general the arachnida possesses, is for them, if you compare them with the insects, if we have to compare them with insects, if we are to continue comparing them with insects, you see insects have got what? What do you see, if you compare the two, what do you see the insects has, but the scorpion does not have? The two, if you compare the two, what does the scorpion have that this one does not have? This is an insect, this is an arachnida. If you look very carefully, you will find these ones have got wings. The insect have got wings. But when we go to the scorpion or arachnida, they don't have wings. So depending on the wings, the insects have got wings, whereas the arachnida don't possess wings, all right? Arachnida do not possess wings, but insects possess wings. Thank you so much. I think that one is very clear. Go to antenna. When you go to antenna, the small projections that comes on top of the head, if you look at this, the insects, they have small projections. If you look very carefully, there are small projections, two of them. We call them antenna. So for the case of insects, they have antenna, but for the case of arachnida, they don't possess antenna. So we said in our introduction, when we were introducing arthropoda, we said we can classify arthropoda depending on the presence of either some have got antenna, others don't have antenna. So these ones can be differentiated, saying that insect possesses antenna, and these ones, the arachnida, do not possess antenna. Is it clear? Hope everybody is speaking what I'm trying to say. So arachnida do not possess antenna, while insects do possess antenna. From the diagram you can see. This is an insect. It has wings. An arachnida does not possess wings. All right? This is an insect. It has antenna, two pairs. One pair, of antenna. And this one has no projections. It has no antenna. Hope it is clear. So if you are to differentiate arachnida from insect, you talk of the wings, you talk of the what? You talk of the antenna. So insects have antenna, arachnida don't possess antenna. Insect has wings, arachnida don't have wings. Is it clear to everybody here? Hope everybody is speaking what I'm saying. Any question, you ask. All right? Good. Another thing we can look, when we look on the screen, we are still looking at the external features. We are still looking on the external features of the pictures we have on the screen. When you look at this still, so I remind you also, we said that, we said that still when we are differentiating or when we are classifying these arthropoda, we can also depend or we can also base on the body parts. At first I said the number of antennae. I talked about the number of legs. We can also look at the body parts. To classify these arthropods, yes, we can look at the body parts. So when you see the body parts, you will tell this is either an arachnid, This is an insect, this is a crisia, this is a chilopoda or diplopoda, all right? So looking at this diagram on the picture, when you to count on, or when you would tell the number of body parts, I am seeing here one part comes from there on top up to here, somewhere there. That's where it stops. That's one part. That's one body part. Then from there down here, this is another part. So basing on this picture I'm seeing on the screen, that scorpion has got 2 body parts. It has 2 body parts. We can also look at it here. I'm having it here with me. To clarify it here, if you look very carefully here, you will see it has one body part from there up to here, somewhere here, and from here downwards. We call this one from here. But when you look at insect, as I said, the insect has got 3 body parts. It has 3 body parts. To mention them or to show you these ones very carefully, it has got the small part here from here up to somewhere here. All right? From there up to here, and the last part. There are 3 body parts. All right? But for this case, it has 2 body parts. So insect has got 3 body parts. That is the head, thorax, and abdomen. The head, thorax, and abdomen. But arachnid has got 2 body parts. That is, the head is fused with the thorax. To make one part, we call it cephalothorax. Cephalothorax, head fused with abdomen for arachnid. The head was supposed to be somewhere here. The head was supposed to be somewhere here. The thorax was supposed to be somewhere here, but they are both. The 2 of them are fused together. So they are making what we call cephalothorax and the abdomen. So it has 2 body parts. Therefore, still, to differentiate an insect from arachnid, you can look at the body parts. An insect has 3 body parts, whereas the arachnid has got 2 body parts. For the case of the head and thorax, for the case of the arachnid, it is fused together to make one body part. So I hope with the external features there, you can now tell if you move around the compound, you can tell if you come up close, because most people confuse insects with arachnid. They confuse them, but because depending on the structures I've tried to tell you, or we have tried to analyze together, you can, when you meet an animal, you can tell this is an insect, this is an arachnid. If you meet a kind of animal with 4 pairs of legs, without wings, without antenna, classify that under arachnid. Clear to everybody? 2 body parts, the head fused with the abdomen. That is arachnid. So these are some of the examples of class arachnid. Hope everybody has got a picture of the class arachnid. All right? Clear to everybody here? Good. We meet a question, you try to ask. So we continue for today's lesson. I said, and I repeat, our today's main objective is, there are 2, is 1, to identify the common features class arachnid possesses. The other one, the adaptations of class arachnid to its habitant, all right? So we are trying to analyze some of the features, as I said, as I was trying to explain to you. So if we continue, this is what I was trying to say. Look on the screen, everybody attentive. Look on the screen. When you go on the screen, you will see whatever I was trying to say. When I talk of the word cephalothorax, I explained that the head, if you look at this, you can't differentiate, in fact, from here up to there, where the head separates from the thorax. They are fused together. That's where the term cephalothorax comes from. And when you look downwards, from there up to here, this is the abdomen, right? So those are features that we have been discussing that I'm trying to show you. It has two body parts. The thorax and the head fused together, the abdomen alone, so call it cephalothorax, and the abdomen, two body parts, right? I talked of the 4 pairs of legs. That is 1, 2, 3, and 4. This is 1, 2, 3, and 4. Don't mention this on the screen. Don't mention this. I said I will tell you what it is, and it's raw. All right? Good. So it has 4 pairs of legs. We name them, we label them, the first, the second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, and 8th. Therefore, it has 8 legs in number. That is 4 pairs of legs. We talked about that, and I tried to show you. So when we move to I, still when we are introducing the lesson, we talked of, when we were introducing this lesson about phylum Arthropoda, we said to classify, again, we can base on the eye, all right? On the eye. So this one has got, look on the screen. Look on the screen. It has 8 eyes, 8 simple eyes in number. We count them together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. There are these 2 behind that you can't see clearly, but there are 1, 2, 3, 4, and these 4 in front here. So it has 8 eyes, simple eyes in number, different from an insect. All right? So we can base on the number of eyes to classify Arthropoda. All right? So it has no antenna. It has no antenna, as I said before. The arachnida don't possess antenna. All right? Rather, they have these projections here. When you look at them, it has this that ends with a penned pulp. This is just like used for reproduction. All right? It is used for reproduction and has got no antenna. Don't call them antenna. There are not antenna. They are possessed by this male used for reproduction. All right? So if you continue there, you will see these ones. A gland, keep on the screen. Keep on the screen. You will see these 2 kind of greenish things that are like swelling. They are called poisonous glands that are attacked on the cilia. On the cilia. We're going to see cilia is used for what? So they use those cilia for grasping food when they are eating. They have those cilia to grasp food as they are eating, all right? So it has these poisonous glands, like what is the role of those poisonous glands? The role of this poisonous gland is to produce poison, the venom, of which in case they attack, when they attack the enemy or when they attack the prey, they will neutralize it with the venom, and then they will easily kill it and eat it, all right? Another thing here, so hope everybody now has understood the role, the features of these arachnida class, members of arachnida. So we look at the adaptation. As we said in our objective today, we're going to look at the features and adaptations to live in their environment. What do they have that makes them survive in the environment they live, all right? They have the capacity of, they have the way of camouflaging, their adaptation of camouflage, to hide themselves. They easily hide themselves, all right? They can hide themselves in leaves, all right? So they have that capacity of hiding while they are hunting. They have the suction feet. Their feet, another adaptation, the suction feet. So they have the feet of which, after killing the prey, when they kill the prey, they introduce their feet and suck in whatever they want. So they have that adaptation of feeding, all right? They have the feet that is very sharp in a way that after killing the prey, they can easily suck in the products that they feel like eating, all right? So they have the way of mimicking. When they are making their webs, like the spider there. Spiders are good at making the web. So when they are making the webs, they go on changing. Today they can make a style of like an angle, a triangle, a rectangle, like that. So finally find they can easily change the way of making their webs. Metabolism. So the way of their metabolism is either that they slow down their metabolic reactions, all right? They have this venom. The venom is to do what? It's to neutralize their prey, all right? So those are some of the adaptations that these animals, the arachnida, have got. So hope that up to now, everybody, as our objective for today, is able to tell, if you come across tell this is an arachnida, to differentiate depending on the features that we have discussed. You can easily tell some of the adaptations that arachnida possesses, all right? Hope nobody has a question. If you have, you can ask. So before we leave for today's lesson, all right, I'm leaving you with some questions of which will, as you read them, you will remind yourselves of what we have covered, all right? So question 1, how many body parts can be observed in the organism? So arachnida have got how many body parts? I talked about that. How many legs do they have? I talked about that. How many antennas? Do they have antenna? Do they have antenna? Do they have any antenna? Describe the type and number of eyes they possess. Do they have legs? So those are the things that we are going to answer from what we have discussed here. Hope everybody now has picked all the features and the the adaptations of class arachnida. All right, class? Yeah, thank you so much for today's lesson. Hope we meet when we are fine in the other lessons. Thank you so much. Bye.